The level of work, all right, the work capacity that was put forth, we monitor, we keep track of that stuff. Maybe I'll get Sam up here one of these days to explain it to you, but it's just high level. It's more than anybody else does. And I'm just proud of the way these guys do it. I think we've made the most of the effort, had the best training camp we could have. We traveled just as far as we could travel in training camp. Now it's time to start the next part of the journey, which is the regular season. So this was kind of an opportunity this week to tie some things together and get ready for the season. But our guys will be excited to get back here on Monday and be 100% into Bill's preparation. The only disappointment is we can't play them till Sunday night. We got to wait till Sunday night. So, but we'll be there. We'll show up. We'll be right on time, and we'll be ready. So proud of our guys. Excited about the roster. Happy about the practice squad. Really happy for the guys that made the team that were kind of on the bubble, and we're ready to go. What questions do you have?
John, Kyle Hamilton signed a pretty good extension today. Kind of your thoughts about Kyle and getting that extension?
Well, I'm going to ask him to pay for the ice cream truck today. First of all, that'll be his job. But really happy for him. Obviously, very well deserved to be the highest paid safety in football at this point, and he's earned it. And he's a guy that I don't think there's anybody surprised by that. I think everybody everybody in the Raven flock was hoping to see that happen, and that's not the end of it either. But to see Kyle with his fiance in here today and how happy they were, so many beginnings, and really the thing about Kyle is like he's not really. He's pretty even keeled. He's just not like he's doing cartwheels down the hallway or anything. He's just ready. He's ready to come to practice, and that's why he wanted to get to practice. And even talked to the team afterwards. He just talked about starting to check those boxes off starting in Buffalo. So yeah, it's great. It's great for the Ravens.
John, you never know how players will progress, but just to see Kyle's progression to this point, I'm sure this is somewhat, at least, to what you guys were hoping to get out of him. Just what does it feel like to be able to feel happy about the investment you guys have made in him, just even going all the way back to draft day?
It's really a great point because not everybody makes it. You don't hit on all your picks, and you certainly even don't hit on all your first-round picks. And to have 2 first-round picks from that one year hit the way they have it's just a great thing for all of us, for everybody, but mostly for them. It speaks to the guys. And Kyle was a guy that people were even criticizing us for taking him where we took him. He took a safety. Why would you do that? You have all these other needs. And here we are today. So the same thing for Tyler. Why'd you take a center? Well, that's why. Because you see the way they play. So just proud of those guys, and just really happy for Kyle and his family.
Hey, Coach. Now that you have the 53-man roster practice squad, how do you feel as a coach entering your year number 18, and you see this list of players very talented? What is in your mind going to this new season?
Well, I just really like the roster. I mean, to your point, it goes through my mind when I'm watching practices. This is a really good football team, and every season is its own season. Every week, every game is its own game. I mean, you take them all one at a time, truly, and so your focus gets very narrow. But when I take a step back and I watch practice, I know that we're a very good football team. So it's our job to go out there and play very well, and coach very well, and that's what we plan to do.
John, we saw a video of Eric talking to the undrafted free agents, the 3 guys who made the team yesterday, and then of course I'm sure you've had a chance to say hi to them today at practice or talk to them. What's that like, seeing just that host of guys, that many guys who weren't drafted, get a shot on your roster?
Well, it's definitely unusual. I mean, I don't know how many times it's really happened, and we're talking about undrafted free agents making a team, especially a team that's as highly thought of as this team and this roster is. Also guys that were, in some cases, weren't even signed the first go-round, guys that were tryout guys, like Keon, guys that didn't have any signing bonus, That's pretty amazing. And just it goes to me, it goes to the fact that football is probably the truest meritocracy in our society. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of meritocracies. Broadway's probably one, you got to be really good to get on Broadway and stuff, but when it comes right down to it, it's what you do on the field. It doesn't really matter where you played or how you got here. Once you're here and you walk out there in that grass, it's about how you play. And the best players are the players who play the best. And when they play the best, they should be recognized as such. And we try to give everybody an opportunity. We try to coach everybody up to the max and try to bring it out and put them in positions to do things they do well. And so, kind of to the questions you guys are asking, it's a great thing. because it reinforces what it's all about. It reinforces that meritocracy part of the whole deal. And now let's go play some ball. Let's go win some games.
Coach, I want to ask you specifically about Keon because he's a tryout guy. You said the other day it's rare that tryout guys make the team. Eric said the same thing. What was it about Keon? What did he show you that made him an exception?
Well, I look at defensive players especially defensive backs, and something I read in my notes is a no hesitation play or a no hesitation player. A player that can process accurately and quickly and then without hesitation go respond. And then show up where he's supposed to show up on time or ahead of time. That's what Keon does. He's comes from a football family. His dad played. I don't know. Maybe he had him in the backyard all those years, but he doesn't. He just processes so well. Just like the interception against Washington. That's a kind of a combination coverage that we're in there. And he's really doesn't have to be out there under that route. It's really not necessarily part of the process. But he diagnosed the play and he was out there waiting for the ball. So, and not just that one play. He's been doing that all the way through camp. Sometimes you'll see players, Steve Bisciotti pointed this out to me just today we were talking, sometimes you'll see players will flash in preseason games. And you're like, man, you gotta keep that guy. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's just a flash in the pan. But when it's backed up, when those plays are backed up by what you see in practice every day, then you know what you have. And all three of those guys, Keon, definitely, that's what happened.
John, and when you're watching those guys, obviously you're focused on what they're doing and building all that up. But when you step back from it, is there part of you that's surprised that three of those guys make the roster? And secondly, did it make those decisions that much tougher?
Yeah, I get surprised. If you look at it that way, you get so deep into it, you really don't think in terms of being surprised because by this time we know the guys so well. They're part of the 90-man roster, and you're just watching them play every day. And you're coaching them up, you're sending them video, you're talking to them, and you're just sorting it out as you go. And trying to put together the best 53 and the best 16 after that you possibly can. So I think when you step back, you have to say, gosh, that's unusual. But in the process of it, it's just trying to put the best team together you can.
John, as you're preparing for what-if scenarios, how nice is it to bring back Tyler Huntley as a veteran quarterback? You're hoping you don't have to go there, but you certainly have some trust in him.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's pretty interesting when you watch Tyler, I've been watching his games on tape, you see the growth. And he's had to travel a journey. It's been a hard road for Tyler, but that's how you grow, right? The scars are stronger than the other parts of the bone, and he's had his bones broken, so to speak, a little bit, and bounced back and competed. And I see him out here today. He looks really good, and I think it makes our team stronger to have him in that spot.
John, we didn't see Tyler Loop out there. Did we just miss him? We didn't see Tyler Loop out there. Did we just miss him, or did he?
Yeah, no, I don't know if you missed him or not, but they kicked at the stadium today.
Okay.
So they were down there. Jordan punted, and obviously Nick snapped, but Tyler was kicking at the stadium today.
We didn't see Marlon. Is he okay?
Yeah, Marlon kind of needed a rest. I felt like just watching him yesterday was a good rest day for Marlon.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Nice job.